Yeah, I'm not sending. I'm not sending anything else yet. I'm just sending the link for Georgians. Yeah, I'm not sending. I'm not sending anything else yet. I'm just sending the link for Georgians. Yeah, I'm not sending. I'm not sending anything else yet. I'm just sending the link for Georgians. All right, so Georgia, the link is in the chat. It's in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, I'm not sending. I'm not sending anything else yet. I'm just sending the link for Georgians. All right, so let's go.
Yes, guys. What are you looking at now is what you are looking at now is a model of the pancreas. Did you know that the pancreas is about 6 inches long and it is located behind the abdomen? It is located across the back of the abdomen and behind the stomach. Yes, it is. Now, here, this blue thing here is called the bile duct. Here is called the head, and this is called the pancreatic duct, and here is called the tail. Yes. Now, let us talk about the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes mellitus. Some will say that they are the same. Unfortunately, they are not the same.
So that one has ended. So we'll go to another one.
They are not the same. Why? Because with type 1, the body attack the cell in the pancreas. That means it cannot make any insulin, and it is most common in children and young adults. On the other hand, type 2, this is when the body is not able to make enough insulin, or the insulin do make does not work properly. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here I'm going to show you a little thing. So this is the pancreas, this is the cell, and these are the the insulin, sorry. These are the insulin, right? Yes. So the pancreas has this is healthy, so it has produced insulin. So insulin is in the cell. Sorry. Here, this is healthy. This is healthy. All right, let me show you it.
Right, so I'm coming up.
Okay, So let me show you. So what I showed you before was healthy. Now this is with type 1. So the pancreas here, the insulin is not being produced. Insulin is not being produced. This is called the insulin receptor, this thing here. So with this, insulin failed to produce, so there's no insulin produced in type 1. However, in type 2 though, insulin do produce. So here are the insulins, they do produce. However, the cell failed to respond to the insulin properly. In other words, the insulin can't go into the cell. Yes. So those are the differences. As I said, type 1, the body attack the cells, and with type 2, this is when the body is not able to make enough insulin, or when the insulin do make, it doesn't work properly. That is why they say type 1, a person with type 1 diabetes, they are called dependent, insulin dependent. Yes. Now, let us talk about
Right, so we continue now. Let's talk about. Right, so let's move to the next one. I think this is it. I think MSc bid 50. This is it. Okay.
where was I? Yes, I was talking about prevention. We can prevent obesity by eating more servings of vegetables and fruits. Yeah, man, eat up your fruit and your vegetable. Eat plenty.
What were you saying, Makeda?
I was saying that that's not the one that comes after it.
Okay, no. All right. Which one comes after it? This one here?
Uh,
Are you seeing it? This one?
let me see.
Data.
This one, sir.
This
No,
one
no,
here?
no,
Yeah.
not that one.
No, here I have.
No, that one is the last.
I played all three of these already, you know. I played all three. You basically this all three, basically tell us
This one, sir, down the bottom, that was
this one here,
before.
this one, this one,
No, go down. No, sir, go down.
this is all the four of these right here. Which are the four? This
Go
one here,
down. Yes,
this one.
yeah, that one. That one. 1 minute and 42 seconds.
Okay, that's it.
Now, let us talk about the signs and symptoms. So for type 1, let's talk about the signs and symptoms. So for type 1, sign and symptom are frequent urination, excessive hunger, losing weight, and blurry eyesight. I would say the same for type 2 as well. Same, blurry eyesight, being very thirsty, frequent urination, excessive hunger, and a person may have a fruity smell of their breath may have a fruity smell. Yes. All right, let's talk about the causes. So the causes for type 1 is that the causes are unknown. However, some causes can contribute, like genetics and autoimmune reaction. Autoimmune reaction, this is where the body fights itself, attack each cell attacking each other. And causes for type 2 is the pancreas. The pancreas is unable to produce enough insulin. Now let's go to prevention. For type 1, do regular checks, exercise, and have a healthy diet. And for type 2, lose a small amount of weight and eat healthy. Treatment for type 1, insulin, diet, and exercise. And for type 2, medication and insulin, medication like metformin. Yeah.
This one. Which one is next? 141. This one is next. Your mic is muted, Makeda.
Moving over to obesity.
Yeah, this one is the next one. This one is the next one. Makeda.
Yes, sir. That one is the next one.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yay! So
I'm
we're
saying
winding
that
down,
one is
we're
the next
winding
one.
down, we're getting there. Okay? Now, obesity. This means a person having excessive body fat that might affect their health. And now the signs and symptoms will have depression. I have depression, feeling of shortness of breath, back or joint pains. Causes you have inactivity. Someone eat and they do not move around, so they ask them eat, them just lay down, so the body do not get to work out that food that has been inside the body. And we have unhealthy diet and metabolic and genetic. Now, on the other hand, let us talk about causes. Just to add, body mass index, in other words BMI, is often used to diagnose obesity. Why though? Because the BMI would shows the amount of a person's body based on their height and weight. It has 6 categories. These are underweight, normal, overweight, obese class 1, obese class 2, and obese class 3. Prevention for obesity, we have eat more serving of vegetables. Yes, man, you have to eat up your vegetables and fruits and eat plenty of dietary fiber.
So I guess this one will be next. Which one is the next? The one with the picture or the one without the picture? This one is next?
The one with
Where was
Oh,
I?
this
the
one.
one.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
one here?
Now here I have
The other one? This one here?
Yes,
where was
sir.
I?
Okay.
Yes. I was talking about prevention.
No, not that one.
This one.
We can prevent obesity by eating more servings of vegetables and fruits. Yeah, man, eat up your fruit and your vegetables.
Come again? Which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
This one here. This one here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That one. Yes.
Yeah. Now here I have a model of a obese person. I will put this in class 3 category, obese. Why? Because as I said, obesity has 6 categories. We have underweight, we have normal, we have overweight, we have obese class 1, obese class 2, and obese class 3. Yes. Guys, give yourself a round of applause. Because we have reached the end and you have been patient. I hope you learned something. Thank you guys for watching. I really do hope you learned something today about diabetes mellitus type 1 and type 2 and obesity. I learned something. I do learn something. I learned something from my presentation. Thank you guys again for watching.
Well, so with that said, I'll save my speech for last, but I want to hear from both Tina and Nastasia. What you think? Well, obviously, Madam Maxwell, teacher Madam Maxwell, told us what she learned already. So we want to hear what the other two learned. What you think about the presentation? What your thoughts on the presentation? Because
Sir,
wait, hold on,
overall,
please. Wait, hold on,
sir,
Nastasia. All right, go ahead, Nastasia. Go ahead.
overall, it is informative and it is creative also. And I think she put it in a term that like we can understand, like interact with our audience, although she never have an audience. Yeah. So basically, it was good.
Okay. All right. I agree with you. Does it? All right. Let me hear Tina first. Go ahead, Tina.
All right. First of all, my creativity was up. Um, Make me learn a lot because I never know say I have obesities in a three different stage. I didn't know how long was the pancreas and stuff. She made me learn a lot.
Yeah. All right. Good. Very good. Well, for me, I agree with both of you, and she obviously have me smiling, and that's good. So you see what I'm saying, Mark? Okay, now when you use a creativity, it brings out the person in you. You see? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good. Yes. Between you and I, the other things were not my cup of tea, but this is my cup of tea. All right? Okay. So, yes, this is it. And let me share a bit of secret with you. I could have ended the class here because they have taught, right? Now, let me share the secret with you. If you listen to the presentation, you recognize, and as you heard Nastasia said, she interacted with her audience. In other words, she had a demand for the information. She had control over the information. She knew what she was talking about. So she articulated well. When you teach back the content, or teach the content rather, that's the best way of learning. Yes. Take the place of a teacher. That's the best way of learning. And because of that way of learning, to God be the glory. Last 2020 HSB exam, there were two students who sat the exam, both of them passed. But the one who got a grade 2, guess how long she spent in CDB labs? 2 weeks before the exam. But she came in, she was wondering if she went pass or fail. And I said to her, listen, man, I told her that she's going to get a grade 2. And even this, I have a clipping of her testimony, you will see it one of these days. I told her that she was going to get a grade 2. And we organized, I said she had 8 lessons, 8 videos to watch, 8 lessons to do. And she had to do the presentations, like what you saw Makeda did. She had to do them. There was no questions asked. She had to do them. And a combination of she making the models, that's what I'm talking about. What a beast model. Oh my. That wasn't about me, I hope not. Right? But the pancreas, the insulin, creativity at its best, right? That you're literally acting out the actual thing. I just want ladies to understand that whatever you read in the book, you can transform it from words to that. That's the power of using modules. It's the power of it. Because it allows you now to really and truly respond to an exam question in your own words. Yes, that is how we do things around here. We give you the opportunity to learn, to perform, and be successful. That is what we ask for. No. A certain person, this class started on the right path. That certain person, I guess, is now motivated to step up the pace and continue. Right? 1 second, please. Yes, sorry about that. Yes, so I want to say that when you start on this pace, you must continue. So the key here is consistency now. Now that particular person almost finished all 8 videos. Hey, I laugh. Almost finished all 8 videos. And that's good. That means then all that person has to do is take on the path now that Makeda is on and do it. And be ready for exam. It took that person 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. That's a grade 2. So Tina, you see how you can pass the exam if you plan to do it, January.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, try to make modules of what you are reading about, studying about. Because when you go into a doctor's office, so you see the models them, when they might teach you about something about your head body, they look at the model and show you, that is it. So easy and quick. She was able to explain the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The model. So all I'm asking, I'll tell you to do a presentation, do the presentation. Make the models. You see what benefits you in the long run. She learned even more than I would have taught her. I would tell her the length of it. I wanted to say I never know that long either. Not only I know here, I never know either. Yes. So you see,
Okay,
like Makeda.
I was saying, as I said in the video, I really do learn something as what one of my fellow classmates said, that they didn't know that the pancreas was that long. I
Exactly.
myself never know that either, and where it was located.
Here you go. So you see, it was fruitful indeed. All right. So we can review the lesson now with my bit of presentation. My little bit of presentation. My little bit of presentation. So we're going to look at my little bits of presentation. All right. So let us now go into presentation in today's class. So everybody has an opportunity to learn from this. I hope that Madam Anderson was in. Madam Anderson, if you're in, you can, you can put in your comment about the lesson too in the chat, the YouTube chat, if you're still watching us from there. All right. So we're basically in section D of the syllabus. As I deliberately the videos that you get in Schoology covers section B and C of the syllabus, and I use the class time to teach section D and E of the syllabus to finish that quick. So that's why to do it in 2 weeks as well. Right? So what you gotta do? All right, so we're gonna move on, starting at that. So it's just gonna just be a review, but you got a mouthful of what? the topic is for tonight. I should say a belly full rather. To move into diabetes. Thank you for such a lovely introduction. Okay. All right, so types of diabetes mellitus. You have type 1, you have type 2. And as I told you, the pancreatic beta cells destroyed. And that's true insulin deficiency, which says that people depend on it. Right? So deficiency means that your insulin deficiency simply means that the human body is depending upon insulin from another source. Not its source, but another source. Right? And I will tell you how they create the insulin from another animal. Right? I can tell you. And human insulin is now being produced using human insulin. The same technology that used to make the mRNA vaccine, similar technology. See? All right. Now, type 2 diabetes now, the insulin resistance, I should told you that even though the insulin was being released, the cell would not accept it. So that is where the type 2 was that one I should truly taught you. Ah, great job. Good. So the insulin resistance, and she basically showed you that. So it was producing it, but the cell would not accept it. Right. Now, so relative insulin deficiency eventually leads to beta cell failure to be destroyed. Secondary forms, mood extract, pancreas diseases, steroids, etc. Now we have the gestational diabetes. This is one that probably didn't get to mention today. It's a subset of type 2 diabetes that is diagnosed during pregnancy. So the gestational diabetes is diagnosed during pregnancy. Right? Now, so diabetes, as we can see right here, in this picture here, and of course, they test to see your blood sugar level, right? By pricking you with the pin, and they basically test the blood sugar level can tell you if you have diabetes. So diabetes mellitus is a group of metabolic diseases in which the person has high blood glucose, and some people call it blood sugar level, either due to inadequate insulin production or because the body cells do not respond properly to insulin or both. So that is diabetes. So if a large content of sugar is in your blood, then it means that the homeostasis was supposed to take place from the point of the insulin is not taking place, right? I would say Georgette is mentioning. Georgette says the video is very interesting. I enjoyed it. Can say I learned something from it. Thank you, Georgette. I saw your response. So you heard that teacher Maxwell. I guess you can get rid of Mr. Bernard and take his job. All right. Good. All right. So Georgette said the video is very interesting and I enjoyed it. And I can say I learned something from it. Thank you, Georgette, for your response. All right. Let's continue from here. And I'm sure you're understanding now, based on that love. And this is why it's important to do your assignments. That's why CDP Lab says you must do your assignments before you come out with class. That's why I was saying that. Do them before you come out with class. That's people might think we're being harsh in the rules that says if you don't submit your assignments before class, you will not be allowed in the class. This is the reason why I was saying it. Because the class time now is seen as revision. That's what we want. The one when you go to the exam, you're confident. You know, if you wonder if you are studying the right thing or not. Because when you do it this way, you're bound to know what you're doing. And you learn more. So I'm just encouraging you. Get on the ball, do the right thing. All right. So common causes. And she mentioned a particular lifestyle. This is a sedentary lifestyle. When she said the persons were inactive, them now walk up and down, them just eat and just lay down and sit down like that. Yes, that's what they're referring to. So that is caused by obesity. She talked to tell you about obesity. Unhealthy eating practice, she mentioned that. Pregnancy, gestational diabetes, and acute stress. And she did tell you depression. See? So much things you remember so far, Makeda. You had me going there too. All right. Now,
Yeah.
yes, good. See, you see, this reminds you of her cell that she had in it. And she told you about the insulin receptor. Yeah, man. Revision time now. Revision time. Good. She said this is, and she told you the healthy one. Hey, you did a good job. You did a great job. You really did a great job. They must continue. I think you'll be a very good teacher. Trust me. You'll be a very good teacher. So now, so the healthy one, of course, produced insulin. And you saw where she used something to, I don't know where my kid get fair with things. Because she did the chemistry. When she did the chemistry videos, I don't know where she get fair things from. But she trusts me. Creativity. As Atina said, it's up there. It is up. All right. Very up for you. More creative than the teacher. And that is true. No. So the healthy pancreas produces insulin. Yes, man. And the glucose, once the insulin, it's an insulin receptor. That simply means that the insulin triggers the cell to receive the glucose. And you know that when glucose goes into the cells, it is going to combine with oxygen to release energy. And that's what we call cellular respiration. Good. Type 1 diabetes now, as she told you, the insulin, the pancreas fails to produce insulin. And hence the glucose will remain in your blood cell. It will remain in your blood, right? Because if the insulin, if it's not being produced, it's going to remain in your blood because the cell not going to receive it. So you have a lot of glucose in your body. And that's one way of knowing that, yes, you're diabetic. Now, so therefore, no, that is type 1. And that's kind of dangerous, really. So that's why for type 1, you definitely need insulin externally because of your internal source of insulin. Your manufacturer, your own manufacturer, now manufacturing. So you've got import. You've got import some insulin, and the doctor now will prescribe it your source so you can import it into your body. Just like when you learn a food, you import food from overseas, same thing. Type 2 is where, as she showed you, she did show you the thing that it produces insulin, however, the cells fail to respond to it properly. So it's not allowing, the cell receptor is not allowing the glucose to come in. So, in other words, insulin receptor set to insulin. Where you are going? Where you are going? Hey, you can't come here, sir. You can't come here, sir, at all. So therefore, so as much as the glucose, the insulin are produced, glucose turn out that door with the insulin, right? So that is good. And I love how you put it together well there, Makeda. Job well done. All right. So it seems repetition, but repetition is good. But you see it from different angles and so forth, right? Now, so we're looking more at type 2 again. Look at type 2 diabetes again. Now, so definitely here, we're seeing the normal, and of course, I can see the pancreas producing insulin, also the glucose, and the insulin moves glucose into the cells. especially muscle cells. Good. This is what happens normal. Please also bear in mind, and let me see if Nastasia remember what she have done. What's another function of the insulin, Nastasia? Apart from allowing the cells to receive the glucose, what's another function of the insulin? Nastasia? Nastasia, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
You can type your answer in the text, in the chat. You're welcome, okay. All right. Now, we were the Nastasia to tell us that. Now, if you're diabetic now, if you're diabetic, as you can see, the pancreas produces less insulin. This is type 2. More glucose is in the blood, or excess glucose is in the blood, and the insulin moves less glucose to the cells for type 2. Now, if we look back at here, normal again, glucose is uptaken into the cell, and the insulin gives the insulin tell it give it instruction and say, Bridget, let's let in the glucose now, please. So Nastasia says controls the glucose level. Very good. So that's basically what it does. Which topic that come from Nastasia? Which topic? Which topic? And in controlling the glucose level, apart from letting the cells receive the glucose, what does the insulin does? Yes, but we want more than the energy. There's something else. Something else. It causes something to happen. Check back your notes. That's why it's important to do the presentations. Because I'm sure if you had done your video, you would not have forgotten to be on the ball. All right. Let's step up the game again, right? All right, now type 1, destruction of the beta cells. So they are destroyed, and no insulin is actually being produced, right? And therefore, a high volume of glucose to be in the blood. For type 2 diabetes, it reduces the insulin production, but however, the insulin resists the insulin receptor resists the insulin, and therefore you still have glucose in the blood and not going into the cells. All right? Provide energy. Yeah, but that's not the response I'm looking for. All right, so let's continue. So we'll look at the factors now causing diabetes mellitus. Factors causing it. So 1, too much food with too much animal fat. That's not good for you. We need to reduce that. Not enough exercise, as I just said to you, inactivity. So you have the gene. As part, I think one of our videos, she mentioned that genetics. So another set of genes cause greater insulin resistance. One set of genes inherited from parents makes you hungry, and overweight need extra insulin as body becomes resistant. Now, other set of genes inherited from parents make insulin cells in pancreas wear out early and cannot make enough insulin. So genetic as a cause being listed here, and result body needs more insulin but cannot produce it, etc. All right. So this picture even break it down simpler right here. High blood pressure. Smoking, yes, can lead to diabetes type 2. Sedentary lifestyle, and she show the bed, if she lay down and just eat and just lay down inactive. Overweight, obesity, and high fat and cholesterol levels. This picture tell you, I saw how she created her chart with in a bag of sentence thing. But they're making notes not from the bag of sentence. All right, is the excretory system? Yes. But it comes under the H word. Need to make your videos, need to make your models, your stuff, and I keep saying that to you. All right. So basically, you have an idea from Madam Maxwell's presentation. I'm coming back to do a review now of the lesson. You are learning some more. You clearly understand the difference between diabetes mellitus, type 1 and type 2. But now let's look at this picture though. Don't want to take much away. So you're the pancreas now. So sufficient insulin secretes in the bloodstream and increased glucose in the bloodstream. So once there's an increase there, you're going to recognize that the muscle cell now, the muscle will receive glucose. But in type 2, it's unable to use it. It's a muscles unable to use glucose due to insulin resistance. So if your muscles not getting the glucose, what is going to happen to you? Your body will feel what? Tell me. Anybody? If your muscles are not getting the insulin, your body will feel what? What your body will feel? Anybody?
Weak.
To me, I would say about the
Yeah, go on, Tina. Tina, go ahead. I listen. Tina? Your mind is mute, Tina. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying weak.
Weak. Yeah, so you will feel weak. So if you see you're feeling consistently being weak, all right, weak is the answer. Yes, that's the answer. If your body is consistently feeling weak, they have to check yourself out, right? All right. All right. So basically that is that. All right. Let me see what comes after this. All right. So this is our last slide. So your next presentation or the next class is going to be based on cardiovascular diseases. So Makeda has set the tone. I hope the others of you will follow through and even do better. And the standard is me no want no paper-based thing. Makeda mix them, good. Want some models impress me. It impressed me. Models. Yes, that's what I demand. Yes. Right? So our last slide here, we'll be looking at right here. So the disease associated with complete deficiency of insulin, that's type 1 diabetes right there, due to autoimmune attack on the beta cells of the pancreas. So I should say in one of the videos that your own body cells attack your own body cells. It's like a enemy, the family fight family, family fight against family. That's what autoimmune mean. The own immune system of fight against itself. Right? Now, the islets of Langerhans, where the beta cells are, become infiltrated with the activated T lymphocytes, causing insulitis. That's big word. So beta cell destruction requires both a stimulus from the environment, such as a viral infection. So a viral infection can cause that, and a genetic determinant that allows the beta cells to be recognized as foreign. All right. So technically, and she told you some of the signs and symptoms. She mentioned the breath. It says fruity, right?
Yes.
Good. And central is in the brain, problem in the brain. Weight loss, systematic weight loss, and respiratory problems, of course, breathing, and gastric problems, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and that also affect urinary tract as well. So that's it for tonight. So I'd like to ask now, I'll evaluate the class each night. So um, anyone who's gonna go first? Let's start with both Tina and Makeda is new to the HSB class. This is your first night, I think. First, no, sorry. Tina, Makeda was your last week. So Tina, you are the new kid at the block. So tell me what you think about tonight's class.
Tonight's class was very inspiring. I learned a lot.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Teacher Maxwell, could you tell us what you think about tonight's class? Teacher Maxwell, are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
What do you think about tonight's class? Go ahead.
Tonight's class was educational. Yes, and
And what?
yeah, it was educational
Okay.
tonight. Yes, sir.
I know it's hard for you to comment because it was really your class. You're a teacher for tonight, so it's hard for you to really comment, right? I understand. Okay, Nastasia, hard for you, one. Nastasia, what about you? Topic for next class? Yeah, go ahead.
So, overall, class was excellent. It was very creative, and I've learned a lot.
All right.
The topic for next class are the presentation that we need to do for next class.
Come again?
Presentation for next class.
Oh, cardiovascular disease. That's the next one. We're looking at cardiovascular diseases. I'm a one modules. No one more reading. Right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So, George, if you're still with us, you could put your comment again on the YouTube channel. So, just want to sincerely say thanks for a lovely class so far, courtesy of Ms. Maxwell. I sincerely hope in our next class that all I'll be listening to are presentations. Good. So if you are consistent, then I guarantee another 100% pass from this class. So I am looking for consistency. I want to get consistency. Then I'm certain that you will all do well. And we must give God thanks for such a lovely class. Thanks to Tina for the prayers as well. And we continue in this phase. And I would like them to take the opportunity to, um, what's the word? What's the word? Well, let us end the class with a lovely song. It doesn't need a good class. So you see, the class is not about the teacher. It's about you, the students. It's like for you to know that. It's about you, the students, not about the teacher. Oh. And I ask that you subscribe to our channel, CDP Library Services. You can share the channel with your friends and family members. All right, so they can go on our channel support. Share the channel with them. We don't really stream at this time. We stream when it's near to exams publicly, right? But why it is streamed for tonight is unlisted, meaning that you cannot find it on our channel, even though it's there. But I stream it for those persons who struggle with the internet so that they can still benefit from the class within the session. All right, so that's why it's done. Yeah, go ahead, Makeda. Yeah, go ahead, Makeda.
Yes, just to thank you very much for that because that really helped me out with with chemistry. Last week, chemistry class, because the internet was giving trouble and I have to go back to the video and watch and listen so I can get, I understand it on spot, but get like more understanding on what has been taught. So that is a good idea of what we did there.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Maxwell. Thank you very much. All right. So let us listen to one of my favorite gospel artists. There are so many songs. See the run of songs. All right. Let's listen to this one. And after this, we can go.
God, you are holy, you are wonderful and awesome, and there's no greater joy than to give you praise and glory and honor. What I want to do right now, God, is to give you the highest praise. Hallelujah.
All right, so Georgette says that the class was inspiring and enjoyed it, though. All right, thank you very much for that, Georgette.
No one is greater than you.
No one.
No one is mightier than you.
No one.
No one can love me like you do.
But to you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You made the sun, moon, and stars.
Sovereign God.
Sovereign God is who you are. Mighty conqueror in this war.
But to you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, my God. Hallelujah, my King.
Yes, God.
Hallelujah, my Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
No one is greater than you, and no one is mightier than you. No one can love me like you, but to you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You made the sun, moon, and stars. Sovereign God is who you are. Mighty conquering this war. To you. Hallelujah, 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 my God. Yes. Hallelujah, my King. Hallelujah, my Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You are the great high priest, mercy and grace you release. You give me perfect peace. To you, hallelujah, hallelujah. Listen, the presence is always around, and it fills me with beautiful sound. Now I am heavenly bound to you, hallelujah. Come on, let's cry out. Say hallelujah, hallelujah, my God. Hallelujah, my King. Say hallelujah, my Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Take it up now. You are the great high priest, and mercy and grace you release. You give me perfect peace. To you, hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Your presence is always around, and it fills me with you. Hallelujah.
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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
All right, so have yourselves a good night.
Thanks, sir. Same to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay, then.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks, yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
All right. And good night to you, Georgette.